So with this motor, I am going to, this is the one that come off it, which is stuffed up. You can probably get this sent away and redone, but I'd rather just use another one, which I've got up here. I'm going to take this one off, and I know there's a step. So with these, obviously, because they're, I'll give you an idea. From memory, the last one I did. So that's a standard head. It's a PM tuning head. See how it's a little bit wider? So this bulges out more. So it doesn't line up completely with this. It's got a step. So I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to be porting the cases. Obviously, I'll take everything apart. But yeah, I'm going to be porting. I want to try to port the head a bit more too. Now I was just looking at it before. With port, so this is a malossi head too. It come off a bike that blown too, but I don't know, I reckon I could probably reuse this cylinder. We'll see. But yeah, I was just sort of comparing. So the exhaust ports, obviously the PM tuning one's bigger, but it looks like the transfers are pretty much. The transfers are pretty much the same. Look, I'm gonna get some paper. I've been watching videos, and I'll do like a you put it in there and you trace it out. What's it called? Mapping. I'll be port mapping these, and then I can see the difference in why PM tuning goes a bit better than the malossi and whatnot. See the timing. I might I'm also eventually might try to start porting these standard cylinders with port timing. I'll get a wheel and I'll stuff around with that and see how it goes. Didn't want to do it for a while, but yeah. Look at the, you know what, the standard cylinder is nearly as big as the malossi. But from memory, when I put my calipers in, here, let's do it real quick. So let's get it rough. It's probably a better way of doing this, but so that is 31 mil. So if we go to the malossi, so that's a bit, it's probably like 1 or 2. I don't, you know what? Let me measure it. No way. It's 30 mil. So it's 1 mil difference to the top of the exhaust port. And the PM tuning. Ooh. Sorry for my shit camera skills, but yeah, it's pretty much 30 mil too. So it's 1 mil higher than the standard exhaust port. So yeah, that's what oh, you know what, I think the transfers are bigger. Look, like I said, I still got to measure these as well, and I'll do the port mapping and I'll do another video on that too. But yeah, I really want to stuff around with the standard cylinders because these are really good cylinders. They actually last. I got one in the back that it's got 61,000 Ks on it, and it's got low compression now, obviously because it's an old head, but it did last a very long time. Malossi ones are pretty good. Alright guys, very important. If you haven't got one of those special crank pullers to push the crank out of the case, you put the nut back on here. Don't leave the edge exposed, otherwise you're going to stuff your end of your crank up. But also, I ended up stuffing up a standard crank by doing this. I was smacking it with the hammer, and I actually bent the thread where this goes through this. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put a washer, then the nuts, which will help it not do what it did last time. So I'll tighten that off, and also I'm going to use a timber this time. Actually, I'll just split this in, that should be enough leverage, yeah. I'm going to do that this time. I thought this one had a PM tuning crank, but it doesn't. It just has a standard crank. But see? Perfect. I'll do this same to this side. Ew. Gunky. That's them. Pretty dirty. Oh, that's one seized. That one's seized. The crank looks alright. Just the piston that shut the bed. But yeah. So guys, just how I was saying with that step with the case, so that's the PM tuning head. So I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but there is a step in there. There's about a 2 mil, 1.5 mil step that you can make that a smoother and bigger entry. If you're gonna, go the route of putting a new full circle crank, it'd probably be worth grinding that out compared to we put the standard head. Can't really see because it's got this on the PM tuning that's cut out, but see how that's flush, standard head and the case. So that's the step I'm talking about. Yeah. bought some dies from Amazon. I actually bought them yesterday. No, what's this today? So yeah, today's porting day. Bought some of these off Amazon, but yeah. So from memory, the last head I bought from PM Tuning, I built this 179, so 54mm crane. PM Tuning straight to head, and they ported to suit the extra 2mm in the crank. Things in machine, but from memory and photos, we did 5mm. They left 5mm for the gasket. They'll have to probably epoxy the cases. That's what I have to do with my other one too, because by the time you port the case, you're not gonna have any room for the gasket to sit on. So we're pretty much gonna be taking roughly 4mm of material out of the ports. In terms of actually, I'm gonna clean up the exhaust port. I'll make it to the same size as the exhaust. I'll port it to the exhaust, but in terms of actually raising like all the transfers and the boost ports and the exhaust port, I'm thinking I may not do it on this one because I've no idea how to port and timing and all that kind of stuff. I did buy a degree wheel, which is coming, but maybe I'll practice on a standard head first before I ruin this head. So I think I'm just gonna clean up all the ports. I'll elongate the outlet. I'll do these ports. I'll make it all nice and big, and I think I'll leave it at that. I don't want to fuck this head up because it did get a bit expensive now. From last, they're like what, Australian $1,100 I think. So yeah, that's the plan for this head. I think I was gonna try port the exhaust and raise the exhaust high to get the timing wheel, which I did have. I've got on order. It's coming soon, but I think I'll practice with the standard head before I fuck this head up. Yeah, so I think I'll leave this. I won't stuff around with port timing on this head. I don't want to stuff this head up because they are getting expensive now to buy. So maybe I'll leave this. I'll port. Yeah, I'll port all this. That's fine. I'll do the cases, but in terms of actually port timing, I think I'm gonna leave it. I may practice. I've got a lot of spare standard cylinders that are still good, so I'll practice on them first with port timing, and then if I get confident enough, I'll do one of these or a malossi head or something. But yeah, I'm gonna be using all these. These I'll be used for the cases because these are gonna take too long. I've got bigger ones I'll put on the drill, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Yeah, so quite a difference, isn't it? So pretty much got one side nearly done. That's the difference. So now that's how much we took out of the head. So see how we gotta, I'm gonna have to JB weld around here, and then we make it flush with that face, and then we grind it back to get that. That's how much we're gonna take out. So that's pretty much how much we're taking off. So that's why we're gonna JB weld that, so the face hits a little bit on that. So we have ported the cases, JB welded the sides, grinded them down. Look, really it's only sitting. So a little bit of gasket glue and hopped out seal. It's nice and flat. It's all ported. I didn't do the exhaust, there's no point, because when I put the exhaust flange on it, that's bigger, the exhaust outlet here is bigger than the exhaust anyway, so there's no really point in, you know what I mean? There's no real point of really porting it, to be honest, because it's catching that lip. Anyways. Unless I'm gonna change the actual timing, but I think that's it for this one. I think for the cases and just the side ports, I didn't do anything else. See what kind of difference it does. So that's pretty much what we're going from to that. Alright, so we're going to put the bearings in. What you need to do is to heat up this area to 75 degrees. Probably with a heat gun would be better, but I haven't got a heat gun, so my guess is going to have to do. You're going to need a little temperature jiggy, and get a spare bearing. The old one you took out, I'll show you why. So we're going to heat this up. Get a clean screwdriver. Some freeze and release. If you got like proper freeze spray, would be better. Old So I fucked that one up, but That one's in. Not fast enough when I put it in. Number 2. Go. That was easier. All right. Is it hot? Yep. Okay, now. Let's put the water pump in. So that's the water pump seal. That's going to go that way inside, and then I'm going to use a 12 mil. I'm going to use a 12 because you got to be careful you don't stuff it up. Don't go too hard on it. You like sort of do one hit and have a look, reposition, that kind of stuff. But while the case is hot, the metal's expanded, so this should be easy to put this in now. Put the water pump in now. Just hitting up the back of the I'll put some flame here just to heat up the metal so that it expand without burning the seal. just use the back of that to go in. That's it. Just like that. You will have to tighten it anti-clockwise because this is like a reverse thread. Just don't put too much because you're doing both sides, and I'll show you what you do after. Get your finger, and you just dab it, you spread it evenly. Spline side is always the bigger case because obviously that's where the variator goes. That's where the stator goes. You should just push in. Keyword should. Get my bolts ready. Complete disaster, this one. So guys, the reason why all this went a bit pear-shaped and not as smooth as it normally happens is because last time I used actual freezing pipe spray, which freezes water in pipes. You get it in a can from Reese Plumbing in Australia. I didn't have it this time because I was too lazy to go get it, and I thought when I went and got bearings for a transmission they had that unlocking freezing spray, whatever it was. Doesn't freeze it just makes it cold. It doesn't freeze it like the other freeze spray that I do. Normally I don't have an issue, and I haven't got a heat gun. Normally with a heat gun you can heat up bearings, not with map gas. I wouldn't heat up a bearing with a map gas. That's why I struggled here. So next time I'm just gonna go get the freeze spray like I normally do, not be lazy. Smack on both sides. That's it. Guys, we are back. Made the gasket. I've already dumb it up how much the squish gap is. It's 1 mil. That's what I normally do. Is 1 mil. What we'll do now is oil up everything. Make sure you try to clean everything too, pistons and arrow down for the exhaust. I like the ring to be all the way around, so it's not really opening it. Like that. I'll shoot the piston first. So the rings, have a little lip, like it's not completely flat, it lips up. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but you face that up, you never face it down, it's always up. And I think there's a T mark anywhere, top. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. See the little T mark? That means top, so that's facing up. Alright, that's that. Now one thing we are going to do I'm going to have to rescore the ball, just because we're here anyway. WD. So that's what it looks like before. Throw some WD in there. Maybe not put it on that. And just a slow use a touch more. Slow, you gotta do it slow. Some more carby cleaner. And then I'm gonna clean rag. I gotta get a clean rag, but just gives it a bit of a crosshatch. Some cross hatching. Some oil everywhere. I'm gonna put a bit of gasket glue as well. So I'm just going to put a bit on here and I'm going to spread it with my fingers. Awesome. Put a little bit on the head and I'll spread it like before. Not too much. Just enough. Okay. Now there's little holes. So what you want to do is these holes, you want to line the piston ring up in them, and as you're putting the head on, you squeeze the piston ring, and that's what gives it the clearance to go into the head, is that little hole. Show me that side. So as you go, you put a little bit in. That's two. Touch, not too much, like just literally a smear, because when you compress this it doesn't even sit on the ring, but I just want to put a touch. Obviously, if you guys had a new head, this would be easy to go on, but this is sort of like a second-hand head that I had laying around on another scooter, so everything's sort of not the cleanest, but it will work. Do a little bit at a time. diagonal. Try to get on the bearing. Making a mess here. Now, get yourself some solder. This isn't thick stuff, so I'm gonna double it up, triple it up to make it thicker. And give it a twist. Twist. I normally cut off the head. Put it in, you gotta get it to the corner. So make sure your pistons not all the way up. Put it in the corner. Let it squish it. Get yourself some gauge. Sorry, my lighting's really bad today. Zero it. Why isn't it zeroing? Okay, zero it. Alright, that's zero. You want to be near the 1 mil, 102. There we go. That's good enough for me. Guys, for this setup, we're using Gilera PHBL 26BS. These are really good for a street carb. Good on fuel, super just easy, reliable, they're good. I've got a malossi variator, 12.5 gram rollers. I've got green clutch springs, if you can see the green. Standard contact spring, standard just a normal torque driver. I would have rather a standard belt, you don't need a malossi belt. Guys, a standard clutch is better than any clutch. I've got 2 of these malossi deltas, they're shit. The standard clutch has more meat on it anyway. Save yourself the money, guys. Just go get some springs, put them in your standard clutch. You don't need no fancy clutch. You could even get away with the standard variator, but I had a malossi one laying around, so why not use it? No oil pump, I'm running premix. And yeah, I'm just deciding on if I should go directly back or to the side with the manifold, because I might run this for a standard airbox and a standard exhaust. I'm still making my mind up on that. Yeah, I'm a bit over loud bikes. I've got a really loud one, like a full works one in the back. It's just so loud. So I I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so the gauge has gone all over the place. It's saying that I'm revving to 8 grand or something, but maybe something needs to be adjusted or the wire needs to be moved. But I'm not running this PM59 exhaust, it's just too loud. And I'm gonna run a standard airbox as well. I want something quiet for the street. It's not punching big numbers, it's just gonna be a nice, reliable, punchy street bike. With the standard exhaust too, it should be a bit more punchier down low for wheelies. I will get a zip manifold, which will go from the cylinder to the halfway up the exhaust, so it's going to be a 35mm, it's going to be heaps bigger than the standard. And yeah, that should get it to punch real good down low, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to spray paint the fairings and calipers, and yes, that will be the next video, so see you guys then. So now what's left on the bike is the calipers. I've got to paint the calipers and the fairings, and we are done. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one. See yous.